Coronavirus taught me how much my mother lied and abused me in my life. My mother always told me she kicked my dad out because he was beating her and was going to beat me. Hint, he didn't. She lied to her lawyer and told him that my father touched me sexually. He didn't, but she also didn't believe when I did tell her I was raped as a child by someone else. Our home had no hot water or running toilets growing up. Most of the house was filled with trash and dead rodents. When we moved to an apartment, she would sleep in the living room so that her room could be filled with shit fur whenever the landlord came over. Until I was well into my teens, all of my emails were forwarded to her. She said it was to protect me from my dad. Constantly guilt trips me and blames every bad thing that happened on my father. Let a psychiatrist over-medicate me on clonazepam and Lexapro. I was a minor and over the max dosage, until I tried to kill myself at 18 because she never worked and I was just done. Of course, she used this to bring me in further under her control, never worked saying she had to take care of me. She was kicked out of my aunt and uncle's house and spent the last 3 years feeding me poison words to keep me angry at my father once I lived with him. Told everyone I was 3 to 5 years behind developmentally. Told me my father was only good for money. Told me my father did not want me and wasn't capable of love. There's more, but I just needed to tell someone. For the past 3 months in quarantine I have been living with my dad, and I'm slowly starting to realize he won't beat me or hurt me when he's angry like I've been led to believe. I'm realizing that when my mother told me that he only had me to look good to his friends, it was a lie. I do not love my mother, nor do I even like her. My mother abused me and tried to convince me it was all from my father's supposed abuse. My mind has been broken and fractured for 23 years at her hand. But I just turned 24 and I won't let it continue. She's a monster. Who knew that all I had to do was to give them my blessing for my husband and his mistress to break up? I have known about his infidelity for 10 months now, when he almost missed the birth of our baby. We had a planned C-section, but our daughter decided she couldn't wait and I called him all morning, confused and terrified, in pain because I was scheduled 2 weeks later. My mom finally got a hold of him. He smelled disgusting. My way. A perfume that I really hate. He looked more guilty than excited and he smelled disgusting. Anyway, when we got home I looked in his phone and found out about them. I don't know how he has been able to fool me, or was I just blind? I told him that I knew and he tried to deny it and I didn't argue. When I didn't argue, he probably am dying and I don't feel bad. So yeah. I'm 16 and I got diagnosed with cancer 5 days ago. I have stage 3 sarcoma and it's my mom's fault that I didn't got diagnosed before it was this bad. I have this pain since 2021 and she said I'm trying to skip school. Well, last week I started puking blood and she decided it was the time. I got diagnosed and I refused treatment because I don't really want to go through the pain and stress of chemo. The fact is, when I was a kid, in like 2016 I had an idol. Which was a Minecraft YouTuber. I'm talking about Technoblade if you don't know. I always wanted to be like him when I grew up and streamed on Twitch constantly, but luck wasn't with me. He died 2 years ago due to sarcoma on his shoulder and I have the same type in the same place. My sister slept with my boyfriend and I sent her a really cruel message that I don't regret at all. Sorry, but this post will have a lot of bad energy and I'm terrible at writing in English, so if anyone is going to read the post, I'm sorry for all the grammatical errors that are likely to be in the post. Tongue sticking out. So a few days ago, I, F25, found out that my sister, 24F, has been sleeping with my boyfriend, now ex, 25M. We dated for 3 years, for 1 year, or probably more. They always had a close relationship, but I obviously took it as something innocent. I don't like video games, but my sister does, so they talked a lot by text and I thought it was about games they like until I found out that no, they talked a lot about their secret dates while I was working in. My daughter's eating disorder is killing me financially. My daughter hates food. I think she has ARFID, but I've been ignored by countless doctors, so fuck me, I guess. She had a 3-day anorexia workshop, which did absolutely nothing. She's always hungry, but won't eat. She's gone weeks. If you give her food she likes she'll eat until it hurts, but the food she likes is so expensive. I'm living on plain rice this week just to afford her food. Literally 3 times a day. My son hates her because of the food. I've applied for financial assistance so many goddamn times. I work over 40 hours a week and after bills I barely have 70 pounds. At least 50 goes on feeding her and it never lasts her that long. I am so tired. I'm hungry. My son fucking hates his L.